Also joining us, G Flash. G Flash, want to say a few words, introduce yourself, and then from after that, boom, we go straight into the
G Flash is like, no.
and we're off. Okay, thank you.
You know me so well.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Game On. I am very excited to be joined by repeating member HD. Say hello, HD.
Hello, HD.
Thank you for being so literal. And new joining member, G Flash. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, Danny boy. Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Not really.
Okay. G Flash, everyone.
So I'm a gamer, just like you. I do platinum trophies the same. I think I started this with the three people.
I think you did, yeah.
That is correct.
In this
yes.
chat. So yeah, and then Danny just took it to the extreme, and you know what? You made it quite ugly for us.
Exactly. So just that everyone knows how many platinums everyone has. Yeah. G Flash.
I've got the least now. I've got 81.
Okay. HD.
I've got 83.
And I've got 93. Is that a bigger number?
High score. Did I break it?
All right.
Let's not get into that, Danny.
Okay.
We have to speak about something else.
Yes. Fun note, I was the last person to start platinum hunting, so I want everyone to know that. All right, so we're all here because we've all played God of War Ragnarok, and we're here to talk about it because what better way to talk about games in a podcast? So, God of War Ragnarok, worthy sequel. G Flash, what do you think?
Yeah, of course. I don't know. There's one word to explain the game, and it's wow.
100%. I mirror his sentiments. Okay, wait. Let me actually pause this. I'm not going to play Daymare while I play this because this is going to stress me out.
Oh my god!
I thought I could do it terrible. I thought I could do it, but it's not going to happen. Definitely a worthy sequel. I think the expectations for this one was super, super high, and I think if the game ever had any sort of disadvantage, it was that. Because I don't think anybody expected God of War 2018 to be as good as it was, and when it turned out as fantastic as it was, the sequel just they needed to step up and in every single way to even be for the game to even be considered good. So yeah, I do think they did a bang up job though.
Okay. Well, before we continue on that note, just so I have everyone's rating, rate for me 2018's God of War out of 10, Ragnarok out of 10 HD, and then we go to G Flash and then myself.
Ooh, okay. Ragnarok. 2018 God of War. I give that one a solid 10 out of 10.
Okay.
I actually struggled to find anything wrong with that game. Actually, and with Ragnarok, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's between 9 and 9.5 out of 10. So safe to say I enjoyed 2018 more.
Okay, G Flash, what do you think? What's your rating for both games?
They both get the same rating for me, and that is 10 out of 10.
Okay,
there you go.
If I am to put if I have to be picky, I'd say only thing that would be negative, even though they scored 10 for me both, would be that Ragnarok was a lot easier than 2018.
Okay, I do agree with that. Yeah, for me, and okay, this is my hot take. 2018, I would give a 9 out of 10, and Ragnarok I would give an 8 out of 10.
Oh,
for me,
okay.
for me.
So we're kind of on the same line of things.
Yes.
But just
G-Plus has left the party.
Look, there's not much difference between a 10 out of 10 and a 9 out of 10.
Exactly.
8 out of 10
There's
does
big
mean you have
difference.
a...
One is the difference.
One is the difference. No,
Basic
you're
math,
right.
man. Out of 10,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
10%. If we're going to go into percentages, okay.
Okay,
to-
I'll
And
take that
he's
back.
given. I can't. Deep friend. Will I still stay in the chat if I remove Danny?
Oh my lord! See, this is why you're very special, G Flash.
Okay, that's cool. Now,
Listen.
everyone's entitled to their opinion. Obviously, yours doesn't mean much, but
Everyone's entitled to opinion. Your
yes,
opinion's just
but-
wrong.
exactly. Okay.
exactly. Thank you, HD.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that earlier on. So
Your 9 out of 10 actually shocked me, HD. To be honest, yeah. I
Is
can't
it for
believe it.
Ragnarok?
Yeah, you really shocked me, man.
let me expand on that a bit. Okay.
Okay.
So again, it goes back in line with the expectations, right? And I think regardless of how good the game is going to be, it will always be held up against its predecessor. And I think what God of War 2018 had, the edge it had over Ragnarok, is that no one expected the type of story that was going to be told, the level at which it was told, the new style of game, it is over the shoulder as opposed to fixed camera angle. It's obviously Norse mythology and the take on the different gods in there. So it was new. And new is always better, right?
I don't believe you. Let's go to whiskey.
Okay, I mean, you're going from
Okay, is
video
new
games
always
to
better?
whiskey.
Newer, yeah, I'm just
The
saying
older the
new is
better,
not
the older
always
the
better. Okay, so
okay, that is true.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I meant was with regards to your one's expectations, because at the end of the day, the game is the game. It's not the game that sort of disappoints us. It's usually our expectations.
That is
we
true.
build this thing up in our head, and it doesn't pan out the way we want it to, and then we're like, shit.
Yeah,
So, it's bad. Put it that way.
we'll get to that part with the expectations and why. Well, for me personally, I rated it lower, but of all. Okay, now moving to the next question. Like, out of all the games you have physically played this year, is Ragnarok your game of the year? Well, last year, exactly. Sorry, I forgot we're in January now. For games of last year that you've played, is Ragnarok your game of the year, HD?
Ooh, you see, that's a tough one, right? Story-wise, I'm gonna have to say yes. Experience-wise, I don't know, but I might have to throw Returnal in there. 'Cause that game really took me by surprise. And again, it goes back to something new. I wasn't expecting the type of game that I was playing, and absolutely loved it. And God of War, I kind of knew what to expect. So, yeah.
Okay, Returnal. Okay, I'll have to play it then. If it's tied for game of the year, for your game of the year, UG Flash.
Okay, so when we talk about game of the year, we're talking about games which we played through the year, not the actual game of the year, then, right?
Correct. Yes.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Okay, so wow, man. God of War Ragnarok is the best game I've played since PlayStation 5.
Ooh.
Okay.
That is that beats everything else since the launch of this console, to be honest with you. In my opinion, because the games that when I talk about playing, now I'm going to say platinum. I've platted Batman also, and that was a top game. A hell of a game, which was made in 2016. But when it comes to since the launch of PS5, Ragnarok is the best game I've played.
Okay.
Story, gameplay, platinum experience. It had everything. I don't know. It's like a lot of the game I could relate to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I can
100%.
relate to something, I appreciate it more.
So you telling me that you go with your son on epic ventures, just slaying random beasts? Does child services need to be?
We don't say it that way.
Okay. HC phone child services. What's the number?
The number's dialing. The number's dialing already.
Okay. It's like that. Damn, bro. Like no, but no, I get what you're saying. I mean, we all fathers here. We all have sons.
Absolutely.
And we do bond.
True. Absolutely. And I think that while it is, like a story about father versus son, father and son,
Versus son.
well,
Oh
and,
god.
and sometimes father versus son to a degree.
HT spoiling the
Because
next game.
Look, I mean, that's obviously taking it to the nth degree, but I mean, that I think that's what also makes it so relatable. What G Flash is saying is like it can take something as a father just not understanding his son, and the son sort of trying to find his own meaning in this world. But taking that idea, which is so common, but to the fucking nth oh, sorry, language. Taking it to the nth degree. Make a note there on your timeline where this is.
Don't worry. We can swear a little bit now. Sufficient
Okay,
time
cool.
has passed, but
Okay, how many
don't
can
go
we say?
overboard.
Do we have a limit?
I'm just trying to think of the kids.
G Flash, you get 5 F bombs. Nothing more. Nothing more.
Yes, I will time them to perfection.
Pace yourself, G Flash.
All right. So it is. When did God of War launch? By the way, on the 22nd of October.
Was it October? I thought it was November. Wasn't it like 9th of November or something?
Yeah, correct. No, you're correct. You're correct. It was in November.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm confusing it with Call of Duty.
That vividly because my vacation was cancelled.
That sounds fun.
That's horrible.
Yeah, my gamer vacation for the year.
No.
But funnily enough, with me, right? I was working when God of War came out, and then I made a meme, explaining to my boss why I need the rest of the month off. And for personal reasons, my boss had to give me a week off, and he's like, you know what? Just take an extra 2 weeks off now. And I'm like, all right, sweet. So I had the whole month off to play God of War Ragnarok.
That is amazing. You have one hell of a boss.
Yeah, wow. And I still flattered it before you.
That is true. Well, I went on holiday as well. Okay, so
I just hear excuses actually.
Yeah. He's so full of it. Because it was longer than his 2-minute plat.
Okay, there we go.
He went there.
You are still so salty that I've got more platinums than you, bitch.
I am indeed. I am. I'm not going to deny it.
Well, you're just 10 in my currency. You're just 10 euros away from beating me. That's 10 platinums.
Yeah, that's true.
Oof.
Yeah,
But
10 platinums. That's 20 minutes of my day.
Oh no, good lord.
Well, Danny, look, I mean, I don't know how long you still have to get those quick platinums out before Sony takes them off the store, right? You know,
listen,
games, all of those where you pay for platinums and stuff.
Listen, out of the 93 platinums I have, 12 at the most are grubby platinums, and I haven't
counted. Danny, it's 24.
Shut up, 24.
Ooh, man did his homework. Man has done his homework.
I prepared for this.
That is how upset Garth is with you. He went and counted your plates.
And you know what's the funny thing? We got another friend called Daniel.
Yeah.
And he's got 55 of these things.
He got 55 plats last year. He got 50 plats last year. And those
I think that was in 2 days.
Damn. Yeah, but I pulled back on this. I don't get grubby plats anymore because now I feel dirty when I do that. But listen,
seen the light. Eventually, you've seen the light.
Listen, I got Phoenix Immortal Platinum, and that was a fucking grind to do. Okay,
I heard that was I think we all have our tricky ones. So
yes,
and our easy ones.
But the thing is, I mean, a grubby platinum here and there is fine. It's an inside joke.
Okay.
But you get these accounts that have like 1,000 platinums, and it's just like Gert says, 1 minute games, and that's not really playing. But anyway, we're getting off point.
We are digressing.
We are digressing. Yes. All right. So 9th of November, you go. Well, I went and got the physical copy because I like physical copies. You guys had it preloaded on your console. You start playing the game. What was your favorite part or realm when you started this game, G Flash?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Ragnarok because that's the most fresh in my memory.
Well, we are speaking about Ragnarok, fool.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, you've got
a favorite part of Ragnarok.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
you're gonna use this one there.
Yeah.
4 more. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, I can't wait to hear your guys' ones. But okay, so remember when Atreus ran away?
Yes.
Okay,
So
then he went in it.
spoiler alert here for anybody,
Yes,
But I
exactly.
mean, I'm sure
Okay.
if you're listening here, you played it already.
Correct.
So then
Just a quick sorry flash before I cut you. Just an FYI, we will be going into heavy spoiler territory.
Major spoilers.
It's been 2 months. People play the game. All right. Sorry, Flash.
There we
Go
go.
on.
Yes. So then he went to where did he travel and he released that that
Gom.
dog Gom. Yeah,
I
when he
went-
released
Hel-
Gom and he
Hel-
toured the
Helheim.
realms in Helheim. And then when he came back, he decided to leave Odin. When he came back, that scene when he tore through the realm by Sindri's house,
Ah, yes.
and they were
yes.
all busy battling there. And then he came through the realm and he was on his back, and then Kratos came out of nowhere and just started bashing everyone. And then he picked
that
him
was
up with
epic.
his hand. He picked the boy up like that, and they looked at each other, and like that expression Kratos had, just say how happy he was to see Atreus.
Yeah.
And then they started fighting together and cleared that all. That was my most enjoyable piece of the game. That specific
was an
scene.
epic part.
Damn, dude.
That was the epic part. I'll change my answer then. I'd actually go with that one. My first one was going to be the when they actually go to tame Garm or stop Garm in Helheim. Where Kratos goes. I think it maybe directly after that even.
Yes, that is
And,
after that.
It's after that, yeah.
And just the whole scene, and just how epic it was that they put Fenrir's soul into Garm's body, and then you went from this bloodthirsty creature to this little puppy dog, that was, this docile, domesticated hound, So that was pretty cool. But then also just directly after that, where Kratos starts getting a bit introspective and he's obviously doesn't want to push Atreus away anymore, and he tells his son for the first time ever, Dad, son, I'm sorry, for doing this, and Atreus hit that freaking words, Dad, don't be sorry. Be better. And then, man, when I was just like, wow, and Kratos, there was like a little what? That's one of, I think, out of 4 or maybe even 5 times across the entire God of War series that you see Kratos crack a smile. And it was that moment that he realized, okay, cool, this boy,
you see his soul,
Yeah, they're connected.
Yeah. They were on the same wavelength. I think for me, when you go to the dwarf realm, I can't remember what it's called. Spartalheim, yes. And you paddle, with your little boat there, and then you get to the
How do you paddle with the boat? How did it go again?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the deluxe edition with that sound?
No, but it's like when you walk to when you walk in the grass, it goes.
Never buying a hard copy again, bro.
Listen here, G Flash. Enjoy this moment. It will be your last. and then you open the gate, and then you get into the little town. That section. Then when you get past the open world, for me that really hit me and go in the sense of this is
epic.
Beautiful, epic. But since Gert did say when they were fighting, I think I've got one better. When they went to Muspelheim, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Muspelheim.
Yes.
When they fought the Valkyries.
Yes, and that epic slow motion where the camera around and Kratos gets up and then Atreus gets up behind him as a bear, and they start wailing on those bitches. I think.
That was one of my things, but the reason I said the other one was because that was the start of their camaraderie,
you know what I mean? Other, at that moment,
and then that piece was the end where they just clicked, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they were already that's actually, I took a screenshot of that, right? And
that's your background.
On my profile,
yeah.
I love it. That was epic, that scene.
Okay.
Piece. I love that, man.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yes, and that Valkyrie fight. I think. Don't you think that maybe Valkyries were a bit too much in this one? We've already seen them, and they were back again.
Well, I think that's why they never. They kind of swapped the Valkyries out for the Berserkers, like for the enemies in each world kind of thing. Like in the previous game, 2018, you had a Valkyrie in each world, and you fought all of them to fight Sigrun.
Yeah.
I think that Sigrun is sort of like, and I'm using air quotes here, a good guy in here. That was pretty cool. And her, and I like the whole thing between her and head hanging on shoulders, head hanging on Kratos'
Mimir.
head. Mimir.
Yes. Mimir's got a stutter.
Yeah. I like that whole thing, but then obviously you only fight three Valkyries. That one seen the Bitok now, and then the one that replaces Sigrun at the end.
True. Oh, she was a bitch.
Gnar or something.
Nar, yeah, something weird.
Nar.
Yeah. You're like, it's like South Africa. Yeah, I'm Nar. You're like, okay.
Ooh. So it's like you never left, Danny.
So I just want to comment again on that end seekers. That scene you said when they turn into the bear, and that's actually the one trophy. True. Together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
What it is.
That's what it is.
Awesome.
All right. So now we've been talking about things that we did like. What didn't you like, HD?
If I must admit, nothing about the game itself, and this is where I'm going to have to disagree with G Flash. There were certain parts of the Platinum that I didn't enjoy.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there, because if you're gonna go into the Platinum, I'm actually leaving that for the end of this.
Okay, but I mean that's really it. But I mean, I think that can be attributed to how you tackle the Platinum and just your appetite for getting it. And I think I don't know. Sometimes I'm okay with collecting shit, mindlessly. Not even mindlessly. I think a lot of things about that game, everything is tied to the story. So the collectibles is fun to get. There's not too many of them. But I think I had a frustrating time in Svartalheim. Those are the larger areas. And trying to pick. Oh, I think it's key to mention that I never use the guide. So that's something that. Yeah. So I mean, generally use the guide, the plat, and I think doing it organically. You literally had to search for these things, and look, I mean, I'm not disappointed that I did it that way, but it did bring a level of frustration to it at times.
So I used the guide for this, so my frustration was not as minimal. But that is a good question for viewers in the comments. If you platinum a game, do you use a guide or do you just go all natural? G Flash.
Depends on the game, man.
True.
It does depend on the game. If it's built around like being a completionist and everything that you need to collect is you've got a list somewhere that you can reference, or it's marked on the map to a degree, like. Something like that. I think then you can do it without a guide.
Yeah. Okay. G Flash. What? I know you've given us a 10 out of 10, but there must have been something that maybe you didn't enjoy.
Oh man, I've been thinking about that. I was sad that the game was over. I was unhappy that I flattered it so quick, and I didn't use a guide.
Oh, you're just too good.
I enjoyed looking for the ravens. I don't know. There's nothing that I didn't like, man.
Okay.
There's nothing.
All right. I think the reason why I rate this lower than 2018 is because of the third phase of this game.
Okay.
I like you said, HD. You have an idea, and sometimes it doesn't play out like that, and then you set yourself up for disappointment. But I had a different idea of how Ragnarok, the final fight, would go down, and I just didn't like the way that they implemented that. It was just basically the same thing. We're running towards Odin. Let me fight, and then 5 or 6 enemies pop up, and you carry on running. In my head, I had it, like Braveheart. they're on that side of the hill, we're on this side of the hill, and we all just go running down.
A massive battle.
And that's what I had, and the game obviously didn't do that. Hey, that's in there, right? But that really just brought me down. It's like, this is just normal gameplay, you know? It's
Perfect
not
example of expectations killing something for you.
Exactly.
Whereas, yeah.
But anyway.
One thing that made me sad was that Matthew told me, well, HD guy told me that I thought this was a 3-part game. I didn't know this was the last one.
Well, I think they did want to do 3, but then they decided to do just a 2, and I think it was UHC that did mention this one time when we were chatting offline that maybe the game would have benefited if it had been a 3-part instead of a 2-part, because again, the third phase of this game felt rushed.
It could have maybe the main boss in this game could have been Thor, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, actually, you know what? That was one of the biggest surprises for me, because I thought they were going to go a completely different direction with Thor. I thought he was just going to be a complete asshole from beginning to end, and this bully. And sort of, you know, how he was slightly portrayed in certain parts, but they softened him up massively throughout the game. There was another sort of, because most of the relationships in this game has to do with parent and child. You know, Freya is after you because you killed her child. You know, or family members, at least for that matter. You know, there's Brock and Sindri, their relationship, or their bond strengthens. You know, Odin and Thor and his daughter, I forget her name now. Thrun.
Just call her Odin's daughter, not Odin's daughter. Sorry, Thor's daughter, and we'll finish quicker.
True. But obviously, when you go in for the plat and you after this is post game and you running around with Freya and Lemire and you collecting then you see these characters in random places throughout the game, obviously, and you see the real Tyr, which is really cool. That took me by surprise when you find him in the prison in the bottom layer in I think it's in Niflheim. It was really cool. But there's a scene where I think you in Midgard, because I remember there was snow there, and you come across, you don't speak to her, but you see her like in the distance kind of thing as you run up, and she's got Thrud, I think her name is, so Thor's daughter, she's got Mjolnir, and she does this thing where she swings at him, she flies up, and I was just like, so she's got Mjolnir, which was really cool.
Yes, so you have a boner for an underage teen.
If that's what you took from that, then
sure. we keep. Well, actually, no, I lie, because she's thousands of years old, so she looks young,
exactly,
but she is of age. Okay,
she is of age.
Yes, so the nervous laugh there by HD. All right, so then, like one of the other questions that I had here, you know, that was connected to this question is, would you change anything? Gert?
I don't think I would change anything, man.
Short and sweet?
I'd just make it, I just wish there was another freaking game, man. Okay, if I were to be picky, I would have preferred to play with Kratos more.
Okay. Well, you carry on, because what I want to say about that is coming in a later question. So go off.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
No, it's just because I don't know, man. God of War is
Kratos.
Is Kratos, man, and his story. And you know, if you played them all, I played them all from the first one. I even bought a PSP at the time to play the Ghost of Sparta.
Damn.
You know, I just bought it for that, so I could play that to understand more of him. And so I mean, I think maybe Atreus was used too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Preach, sister, preach.
I had to look for something. But
if you had to. But even in it was actually not bad playing with Atreus. It was quite jarring for me as well, because like you said, God of War is Kratos, and I didn't expect to play with Atreus, and I didn't expect to play with them as much as I did. And that actually takes me back just to the previous question around what you were saying, what you didn't like about the game. And I think if there was a sort of general criticism amongst a lot of folks, was the section in Jotunheim. A lot of people felt was a bit too long.
All right.
So
I'm going to stop you there because you're going into the next question. I want you to save that trail of thought for the next question. All right.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Because we're going there anyway. Best and worst characters. Starting off with worst, HD, and we connected to these two last questions because
worst character has to be damn, what's that dude's name?
Atreus.
You have to get no, no. That you have to kill with a spear.
The guy that sees everything. Heimdall.
Who's Heimdall?
That dude that sees everything. Before it happens.
Dude, man.
I hated him, bro.
Fucking hated him also.
That's two.
So bad, bro.
But he's not my worst. Is he my worst character? Yeah, he was a villain, you know.
But you didn't like him at all? I thought he was cool as hell.
He was a good villain, of course.
Yeah.
And the fact that I hated him so much means he did a good job of being a villain, and the actor who portrayed him did a fantastic job at making me hate him. But I freaking hated him.
And then then the female character I didn't like was that girl in Jotunheim.
Androboda.
What's her name?
Androboda, yeah.
No,
but she was kind of cute.
No, okay. I need to go off here. Excuse me. Sorry for cutting your face. So, for me, because like we've touched on this. For me, they used Atreus too many times. I did not enjoy his sections. When they went to Jotunheim and you meet his love interest, whose name I cannot pronounce, Angrboda. She made me angry. I'm gonna call her Angry Boda from now.
Angry Boda.
Angry Boda. That section that took an hour and it was just exposition.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't like that.
I hated it. And I couldn't stand. Basically, for me, the worst character, and I use this lightly, the worst because it's a very strong word. For me, was Atreus. But when you played as Atreus, because I thought this is like Gert said, this is God of War. Why am I playing the kid? And his sections I did not enjoy at all. So I just had to go off there. Okay, I'm sorry.
Let me add on to that Atreus part, okay? Because just remember, I was almost finished with the game, close to the end when HD told me, hey, dude, this is the last one. So I was thinking to myself, fuck, maybe they're building you up for Atreus to take over the game.
Yeah, and maybe even take out Kratos.
You know what I mean? So I thought maybe, because I didn't look for any reviews. I just took it as it came, I didn't, I didn't watch any previews or anything. So, yeah, you know what I mean? That's why I have a 7-year-old. So...
Okay.
That's what I thought. Maybe that's probably why I came to terms with what happened. But if I think now, like I said, if I had to pick something, I agree with you there.
So you guys didn't like the fight with Angrboda's grandmother, that giant?
No, that was cool.
It was alright, cool, but I didn't like the hour walk to get there. That's what I didn't like.
Fair enough.
Danny didn't like the journey,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and this is the type of game that it's all about the journey, right? It's not even about the destination kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think the Angry Boda section, that of an hour, should have been chopped up to 10 in 10.
Yeah. A lot of people.
Slices.
Yeah. It was, especially that part on the yak and you're collecting fruit. I mean, if there is something
that's pointless. Yes, that's it. You're making me angry now, HD, because I'm remembering
it.
They
could have done if just hear me out. If that section had 3 trophies to give, you wouldn't have complained.
I would have complained because it would have been tedious trophies.
I don't think so.
Yes.
You would have been happy with it. 3 trophies. Excuse me. You wouldn't have even realized the time because there's like a trophy every 20 minutes.
Yeah, I am. One day I'm going to fly over there, and I am just going to bitch slap you.
When I'm right, huh?
Yeah, by the way.
You are kind of right, but I still hate you for it.
Yeah, exactly. Man, when you play any game, and even if it's no matter how tedious it is, but you got the trophy for that, you're like, oh yes, it's done.
Okay, well,
that's the reward.
Okay, yes, but all trophy talk. All platinum talk for the end, okay? Because you're going to use up all the best material now. Best character HD. Who is it?
Kratos.
Okay, well, obviously it's Kratos, side character then.
Kratos
I'll
is
fly
the
down
bomb.
there and I'll bitch slap you as well.
Man, there were
I
so
think the
many good
next
characters.
best side character for me. Ooh, I'm gonna go with Brock.
Okay, you are correct.
Brock. Okay,
Am I correct?
I've got two characters.
I
I'll
almost
allow
said
it.
Thor, but
Okay,
yeah.
so which was a crucial part in both games. This is Mimir.
Okay.
Without him, this game he was very crucial because those journeys that you go to, his stories, it just was it was very interesting and very knowledgeable.
It was. I
and
dig
that
Mimir.
and that freaking squirrel, man,
Oh no!
with his different personalities, man. I love that.
The squirrels. I mean, what was the angry one? The red one, I think, was the asshole.
Yeah.
What emotion was that? He was funny. He was like F off or some shit like that. I'm like, God damn, squirrel, like chill, bro. But
that was cool, man.
In general, but the best character has to be Brock. I just loved everything about him.
Brock was really cool, man.
He's straight shooting. He tells you like it is. He gives zero
because
fucks.
he didn't have a soul.
Oh my god,
He
spoilers!
didn't have a quarter of a soul.
Yes.
We passed spoilers, bro. We are way
Yeah,
past
dude,
spoilers.
that's the no. Wasn't it 5 parts that you
There's 4
had,
parts
and
to a
one
soul,
was
yeah.
a soul?
And no, there's 4 parts to a soul.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
there's different parts of a soul. The one is like I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm not gonna try and remember the names of it. But there's 4 components to a soul, and
he's
Sindri
missing
did it
the
back.
one.
But if you are talking about who is crucial in the story, Sindri is absolutely crucial.
Ooh,
To a lot of
yes.
things, because he
Shit.
provides them with so many things, provides them with upgrades to their weapons. Okay, Brock does the same, but I mean, he brought them to his home. He's
Yeah.
given them valuable information. He gave them so many tools to,
Oof. Since
fight the fight.
yeah, but Sindri's arc, shit, he's done a
That is
complete
the darkest
180.
one, eh?
That's the
The
180,
darkest one out of all of them.
and I
If you think about
wonder. Sorry, okay, you go, H, and I'll go after you.
No, I was just saying that everybody kind of had a semi decent ending. I mean, obviously not Odin, because Odin is the bad guy.
Yeah.
But Thor at the end, even though he cups a zip at the end, he redeemed himself by standing up to his father, right?
Yeah.
Kratos and Atreus yeah, exactly. Kratos and Atreus, and this is what also surprised me. I thought they were going to go with maybe like a bit of a controversial ending, or where they put them even more at odds, where one of them had to survive, because the whole cycle of things, especially in the Greek mythology, was son surpasses father. Zeus surpassed Kronos, or usurped Kronos, and then Kratos did the same with Zeus, and it would have just been poetic justice for Atreus to do that, for Atreus to do it to Kratos. But they had such a beautiful ending, and they essentially broke that chain, they broke that cycle, and in that aspect, they changed their fate, right?
True,
Which was quite interesting. So everyone even Freya had a good ending, and she was quite troubled in the beginning of the game. But Sindri, man, that was some dark shit, bro.
If
dark.
Atreus had to get his own game, which obviously he's going to get, I would imagine in 3 years we'll get the announcement for it. Sindri, I believe, could be a possible antagonist.
Villain. The main villain.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so crazy, dude. Like he's the 180 is done. All he did was it was sad, but it was chilling also,
Yeah, but he's got hate in those eyes now, bro. Though.
Oh, that is hate, my brother. And that line is like, when he says, "Haven't I given everything?" He literally gave everything, and he lost the most.
Yes, well, we're heading this way anyway, because we're talking about Sindri. The next question would be the plot twist, or, Tyr not actually being Tyr and Brock's death.
Oh,
okay. I want
got punch of note.
Exactly. For me, this came out of left field. I did not see it.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, if you watch videos,
anybody that says they saw it, is a line.
Yeah, that's
Tyr.
Yeah, the tier wasn't. But if you watch, I've watched videos about this, and it's like obviously people have gone back and they've like shit. The breadcrumbs were there, right? Because
They're 100% there.
Yeah, when they talk about tier, there's a hyphen above above the I. Sorry, not the I, the Y in his name.
Y,
When they talk about tier, and when that tier talks, the hyphen is not on the Y.
Wow,
And-
I didn't know
Wow,
Yeah.
how the hell are you supposed to know?
that. So they were
Yeah.
telling you from the beginning that this is not tier.
Exactly, and then when when Treya starts to open the portals from those wooden collectibles back in 2018, and
Yes.
and they pass with Tia. If you notice, as they're looking, Tia walks forward, and he hits Atreus. He bumps into Atreus, right? You think, because he's like looking, but he
Mesmerized,
bumps into Atreus because Atreus is on his right, and Odin has the patch on his right eye, so he doesn't see
And you
Atreus.
can't see it. Yeah, that one as well. That's an interesting one.
Yes. So okay, all right. So good. Starting with you. This plot. How did this hit you, bro? This plot twist and Brock's death.
Oof.
Well, that Brock's death didn't hit me as much as that when I found out about the 4 parts of his soul, that he didn't have a soul.
You're lying. You are a liar.
That was quite hectic though.
Because we went under the water. What is that thing called? That gave the spear?
No, but the forge.
Mermaid lady.
That mermaid lady.
Yeah, that was the forge.
That changed everything for me because I was like, "Jeez, what the hell?"
Yeah, but that was such a cool scene with Brock and. Sorry,
and that also just shows that scene. There also shows Kratos' compassion. Is that the right word?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. That was
his affinity for Brock. I think if he related to anybody, it would be Brock.
Yes.
Just gonna have a very similar demeanor and just like don't give a shit and F-bombs. Well, Kratos doesn't drop F-bombs, but man, Brock's character, just in general, he was so freaking cool, man. He was the realest of the real.
Okay. Shit, sorry guys, I have to stop you there. I figured out another thing I didn't like.
Okay. I'll allow it. Go on, and we'll jump back to this one.
It was the swearing in the game.
Okay, no, opinion discarded. We carry on.
I didn't like the fact that the Atreus swore and they said things because they didn't do that in the 2018 version.
Okay.
This is why that dialogue changed. I still talk to you about this, HD. I still say
I remember.
Weird to me. You know what I mean? I was very confused about it because I know it's about smashing people and swearing and swearing and killing people, but that just I took a little bit of the class away.
And if I must admit, if I'm also going to be nitpicking here, if you think about the way that they speak and the terms that they use, and it's very sort of Hollywood style or very American style of talking, especially Odin, right? They've Americanized Odin massively. Especially if you know the actor Richard Schiff who plays Odin. That's essentially the role that he plays in a lot of movies and series. He's always like a bit of a weasel character. Not always, but in some of his roles. So it is very Americanized. And what I would have maybe appreciated, and this is, again, a nitpick, and this goes back to 2018 as well, if they made it like they were actual Northmen, Norse gods, and they used that dialect and that way
terminology.
Of speaking.
Like they did in the first 3 with the Greek mythology.
Correct.
Yeah, because even Kratos' dialogue was different in that.
See, Kratos, he still speaks in that sort of stoic Greek sort of the words and the mannerisms he uses. And even Mimir, who's actually more Scottish than anything else. That's a little bit more of a twang, to their character and to their dialogue, and it gives it a bit more character. But as soon as they Americanized a lot of the characters, which I think detracts from. Okay, I want to almost use the word realism.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean,
to be real,
but see, I disagree in the sense of I know it's a fantasy game, but any media, any story, any genre has to be based in realism. Like, you will create your world and say, like, let's just take Superman. Oh, no, sorry, Spider-Man, because I know him better. You say Spider-Man. Okay, this dude, his powers are he can climb on walls and he can swing against buildings. And he does what a spider does. Okay, obviously no one can do this, but okay, you set the rules and you've established that it's like this. And so that is real in this world. If Spider-Man all of a sudden starts flying, you're like, bruh, no, this doesn't.
What's going on?
What's going on?
It doesn't fit. Yeah.
And then the argument can't be, oh, but it's not a real person, or you have to. You has to be based in some realism. But anyway, let's go back to Brock and the plot twist, because we deviated a little bit. No, that's all right. I mean, that's what we're here for. When he went to go see Mermaid Lady, and she wouldn't bless.
That's what we're calling her.
We're calling her, exactly. And she wouldn't bless the spear because she didn't see him. And that moment, I think it was very touching when
Brock
to do it. Brock said, "Oh no," because and then I can't remember the words that Brock used earlier that Kratos repeated, and that's like, that just shows growth.
It's not the weapon. It's the
nature or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not about who you are. It's your nature or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a great line.
Yeah, that was, man.
Yeah.
That was
such a touching moment of the game, eh? That was really cool.
Also, we spoke about this also. That just shows how far Kratos has come from a Lone Ranger.
He's acknowledging
having friends.
Yes, he has. He has literal friends here, and he is. He cares for them, and he doesn't care for them per se. He cares for them as much as Kratos would.
Yeah.
But, sorry, this boy's asking me something.
Don't worry. Like I said, we all family people here. We've got kids, so we do we do apologize for HD. I mean, we try.
Yeah. If that didn't happen, it wouldn't be normal. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, true. But man, I think just my comments on that. I think all of those scenes that you see with Brock and the character progression, it's like, that's emotional manipulation right there, man. They made me love him so much, only to take him away from us.
But
in such a manner,
they do. That's so Hollywood.
Such a manner, it is. But I mean, that's what they're gonna say. Like, what is gonna have the most impact? And let me tell you something. I think it was crafted masterfully because Cory Barlog, went to Eric Williams and he said, who's the director of this game? And he said, you can figure out where you want to take this story, right? But just know that this is the last game, and three things need to happen. God, I forget the other two things now, but one of them was Brock has to die. It was literally before the story was fleshed out. Brock had to die. Oh, and Atreus had to go his separate way at the end.
Okay.
And I can't remember the third one. But those were the three stipulations that Eric got from Cory. So you could see that they built the game almost around a lot of what happened to Brock. But in doing that, obviously the repercussions of what happened to Brock was seen in what happened to Sindri. So it just shows you that they crafted it so masterfully.
True. Yeah. And what made my heart grow or pump blood in that scene was when Sindri has Brock in his arms. Everyone is dead quiet, and you're just looking at Sindri, and he doesn't say anything. He's like just crying, and then he just vanishes. And that is why sometimes less is more.
Absolutely.
That just. I swear to God, I always fight back tears, but like at that moment,
that was a tough moment, dude. That was super tough.
It was horrible.
Less is more, and I think what made that scene so crazy is like you still were reeling from the freaking twist.
Exactly.
That Tyr was Odin the entire time. And
Brock is the one who figured it out.
And Brock is the one who's like, yeah, where you go there? Why are you and he's like, why are you calling him Loki?
Yes, that was brilliantly done.
And at that moment, the way they built it up, and he's like, oh wow, why are you wanting to fight now all of a sudden? And why give the boy back that mask? That isn't your mask, you know? And why are you calling him Loki? And then I was like, oh yeah, why are you calling him Loki? And before you can figure it out, boom, knife in the gut. That knife went into my gut simultaneously, man. That's how I felt at that time. It was
in South Africa,
epic
that's happened quite a bit. Yes,
it does happen quite a bit. I'm very fortunate to not have experienced it, and yet.
Exactly. Well, stay safe down there. Me ragging on South Africa.
I'll try.
Yes, but like I have to agree with HD here. They throw things at you, and once everything's done, you just left there trying to just absorb it and say, what the hell, the hell. Yeah. It's like you get slapped on your left cheek and then you get slapped on your right cheek and you're like, what the hell just happened here?
Yeah, absolutely. But and what makes it also
Slapsalutely.
Slapsalutely. I'm going to use that.
I'm allowed to do that.
You are allowed to do that.
No, you're allowed three dad jokes. That's the one.
He's always got his dad jokes. Just to finish on that point, one thing also, I don't know if you guys noticed this, and I don't know where I read this or who I spoke to about this, but remember how Brock and Sindri, how they appear in all the realms, right? They like walk around the corner and they just disappear, because but they always get it in a very
fast. They travel the best.
They just, the way that Kratos can travel between the realms, through those portals, they can do that instantly, right? So what's interesting is they never ever did it in front of people. They always just walked around the corner and then they were gone, or you would walk away and then you come back and they weren't there, kind of thing. And in that moment was the first time, exactly. Or like when Bruce Wayne in The Dark Knight Rises, where he's basically talking to Catwoman and he turns around and she's disappeared and he's like, oh, that's what that feels like.
Oh my God. Where were the other drugs going?
Where were they going?
What a fucking movie. When are we doing the podcast for that movie?
It's like he was a hamster and he had food in his cheeks, bro.
That is one way to put it. Yeah, I'm just imagining Batman as he speaks, spitting out nuts at you.
In that moment, Sindri didn't care about subtlety, he didn't care about anything. He disappeared in front of them right there. And he did it later on in the game as well at Brock's funeral.
Yeah, because that moment, Sindri lost his soul.
Yeah, he lost his soul. Yeah,
that is like a good way to put it. Anything you want to add on this G-Flash before we move on?
No, I'm good. I think we covered it all, man.
Yeah, one last thing I'd like to add, actually, just one last quick thing.
I will allow it.
The soul.
Okay, yeah.
Is, I think what also makes it even more sad, right, is there was talk throughout the entire game. Sindri was saying that, because Brock's soul isn't complete, that if he dies, he doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't, you know what I mean? So that in that moment when he's holding Brock in his hand, he knows, first of all, he failed to get Brock his entire soul back, right? Which they argued about at one point in the game. But in that moment, he realized he actually will never see his brother again.
That's
because
true.
He's not going to be in the next life.
In the afterlife.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's basically, his brother is gone forever. And there's nothing. He's gone into nothing.
I did half expect a side mission of getting that piece of Brock's soul.
Getting that piece of soul back.
I did half expect that.
There's a theory for the next game where, maybe that's Atreus' mission. He finds a way that he can bring Brock back.
This is actually perfect now for the next question. Where do we see the franchise heading? And I think now, first of all, we all stated, we do think that Atreus is going to have his own standalone game. Please, for the love of God, don't call it God of War. I think it should be Loki, a God of War story, or something like that.
Something like it, yeah.
And then maybe
I don't know if I want one at all, to be honest.
Well, if they improve if he's older, he's got some muscle on him, and the gameplay's improved, not like here, I wouldn't mind playing it. But story wise, like I said, Sindri could be the antagonist, or we could have him be like, listen, I've spent all these years trying to figure out how to get my brother to the afterlife. I found a way, and you're going to help me because you owe me this. And that could be a side mission or the main plot. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I think that Kratos and Freya will be in that game also as side characters because they're busy rebuilding.
No,
Yeah,
but that's
the
that,
rebuilder.
But the great rebuilder. He builds muscle, but
Yeah.
buildings no.
But we never spoke. Nobody actually gave a shit about the Freya through all of our questions.
Yeah, she's
I
alright.
love Freya. I love Freya. I think she's awesome.
Careful, your wife's nearby. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what me?
Anchor.
You know what? When I saw that woman's face in the game, yes, that face showed what stress feels like.
Oh yes.
You know what I mean? The emotion. I know. Yes, that woman looked stressed out throughout that game.
Yeah. No, man, but it was so cool that Kratos could.
Yeah, the way they made up, how they could relate to the loss of loved ones and that. Sorry, I keep steering off of your questions there.
I know, it's
Danny.
okay. It's okay. I'm used to it. I just spent like an hour trying to write these things. I'm sorry.
Jeez, like it took you an hour to write 11 questions. It sounds like you're platinum hunting.
Oh, okay. He went there. How much is it to fly to Dubai? I wonder. Anyway, so steering back, on your thought that Freya and Kratos should be in Loki's story or Atreus' story.
Of course, because
no, I could no. It's got to be that's a mistake every game makes. If it's Atreus, it's Atreus. It's his story. In the end, you can throw Freya and Kratos in it, but just to have them there, no, then you're gonna have that. Then you're gonna have that chip on your shoulder. Like, I hope I can play as Kratos in this game. Maybe just a side mission. No, it has to be Atreus. I'm sorry.
I don't think we will see. I think the next game will be Kratos. I don't think we'll have a God of War game without Kratos being the main character.
It won't be called God of War then.
Exactly.
But I think people would freaking riot if they made a God of War game, even if it's a God of War story. I think people want to see Kratos in a God of War. Although, I don't know what would happen next. For his character has really gone full circle, and he's. I don't know what other character development we can do with him unless we something happens to Atreus, or he has to go rescue him or save him, or God forbid they pull a Last of Us 2 and someone makes the big mistake of killing freaking Atreus and
with a golf club.
With a golf club, yeah. It has to be a golf club.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then sorry, I have to say this. And as he kills Atreus with that golf club, he spits on him and says, "Naughty dog."
Oh, that would just be
man, if they imagine they kill Atreus, man. Then it'll be the end of days for everyone because Kratos will just tear everything down.
That's when Kratos goes God of War 1, 2, 3, revengeful Kratos.
Jesus,
100%.
Man.
Just think about and
that'll be the end of the PlayStation era.
It will be. I mean, just think of it. Like, what changed Kratos for the better? It was Atreus, and made him realize he was a fuller person and all that stuff. And that's the one way to just send him off the edge, my bro.
That's one thing we also didn't discuss was Kratos' wife that appeared in the game.
Yes. Yeah, she was the actress in Daredevil. It took me.
Yeah. I always think of her as a chick from True Blood, actually, but yeah, she was in Daredevil too.
Was she in True Blood?
She was in True Blood, bro. Bull changed her. Bull was a master. It was the later seasons of True Blood. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't watch porn. Yeah. Sorry.
Because of those dreams that Kratos was having.
That's a lie.
Listen, for legal reasons, I can't answer that question. So let's continue.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. You were saying?
Yeah, because that dreams Kratos was having, she was preparing him for everything, man.
That's true because giants can see in the future, can't they? That was what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. But she helped them change their fate.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what happened. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
would you smash or pass on Frodo on Kratos' deceased wife?
100% smash.
Okay, good.
There's no doubt about it. Smash,
There
smash,
is zero
smash,
doubt.
smash,
All
smash.
right. Thor's wife, smash or pass?
100% smash.
Smash.
Okay. Thor's daughter, looking over at HD.
Smash.
Oh shit!
Smash it
Wow,
all,
you
man.
went there.
Shit!
You didn't even hesitate.
Yeah.
Don't even care, man. Smash. You're fucking the god of Thunder's daughter. Yo, man.
Yes, exactly. You'll be clapping them cheeks and making your own thunder.
It would be electrifying.
Oh, you guys.
I'll have to put this as 18 or over in the title.
This thing are.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's Freya, smash or pass?
Yeah, 100%
100% smash.
And see, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass. She's got crazy eyes, and as Barney Stinson said, you never smash crazy.
He did it anyway.
He did it, and look what happened to him.
He did do it, yeah.
He did, and it doesn't matter, man.
All right, Kratos, smash or pass?
You will get smashed by Kratos. You go cripple, man. I'm telling you that. That's that dude in White Chicks, Latrell. You know.
Once you go to God of War, you're gonna need a wheelchair.
All right, so okay, I think we'll put that to the side and hang our heads in shame for not wanting to smash Kratos. Okay, so after all that's been said and done, have your ratings for this game changed? Are you gonna stick with them?
What do you mean, like within the last hour?
Yes, and after everything we've talked about.
Let me say something. The way you guys both spoke about certain scenes and certain parts of games defines the game, and the passion you spoke with, I don't believe you can give it an 8 out of 10. I'm sorry.
Okay,
that's fair enough.
Okay, I will answer that in the next question why I gave it an 8 out of 10. But so you for you it's still a 10 out of 10. Good.
It's still a 10 out of 10 because a game is based on your personal feeling towards it. You know,
okay,
the way you
true.
could relate the tears you might have shed, you know, the surprises, the plot twists, everything.
Absolutely.
You went through every single emotion in this game.
No, that's fair. That's fair. There are some, like for example, like terrible games or movies that I enjoy playing or watching. So, and you know, you enjoy it, but
yeah, like Spider-Man. You like
I
those
will
movies,
slap the shit out of you.
I will bitch the slap out of you.
Yes, exactly.
you see, like I feel that way towards your 8 out of 10. You know,
Okay.
but I don't express it the same way.
Yeah. Listen,
He's got you there.
Why don't you shut the fuck up? HD, your 9 out of 10 still stands for Ragnarok?
It still stands, buddy.
All right,
that's not going to change.
So,
I still have a few things here and there that like I said, the platinum experience and yeah.
All right. So that's perfect. Segueing into the next question. The Ragnarok Platinum rating. So now I think maybe this is only something that Platinum hunters or trophy hunters will understand. As in, you could just say like, oh, Ragnarok's a 10 out of 10, but its Platinum's a 7 out of 10. If I had to say that to you guys, would you at least understand where I'm coming from?
I get what you're saying, yeah. I get what you're saying, yeah.
So now, Ragnarok's Platinum rating. What would you give it, HD, out of 10?
I'll probably give it about an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It was just, and I think it was also, like I said, it was attributed to, maybe me just getting frustrated when I can't find certain things. And I had a bit of trouble with the Berserker King and with the Gnar at the end, but that's more It's
The
skill
skill
based.
issue.
So I mean, one could just say, Matt, HV guy, get good,
Excuse
and
me.
you'd be well within your right to say that. But yeah, I think it's a story game, right? And I love the story to the ends of the earth and back, right? And I think, but this speaks more to being a platinum hunter and being a completionist and going for those numbers, right? That's something. It fundamentally changes the way you play a game.
True.
And I think what I loved about this game is you could just play it and nothing was missable. And that's how I enjoy a plat for the most part. And that's why 8 out of 10 is such a good score, I believe,
Okay.
for the plat rating. But there were certain things that just frustrated me a bit. You know what? Oh, yeah, this is the peak of my frustration.
Okay. Okay.
When
Go
when I
off.
was looking when I was looking for I can't remember what the collectibles were,
The
but it
seeds.
was I can't remember what it was, but what world was that? I think it was Alfheim, and you go to that tower where the light shoots up through the tower. Just navigating that place just confused the hell out of me, and like I was like thinking to myself, didn't I bloody play this? There was a whole part of this game that I played, the story, and this is me going after the fact back to that area, and that was the one part that I did not like, that area and collecting stuff in there, because it was like,
Well,
yeah,
I think
it's frustrating.
backtracking in this game is way better than 2018 because that platinum was tedious as well. I enjoyed it, but it was tedious as hell. Before
Yeah.
carrying on, Gert, what would you rate this out of 10 for the platinum?
Okay, so it depends on how you tackle platinum trophies. Remember, I didn't plat games before, but I always went for 100% game completion trophy. So I have a certain recipe I do when I play games, adventure games.
Okay, all right.
So
Enlighten us.
I break it down into certain sections, and I will follow. I always try to make my story trophy the last trophy that I get,
That's a good
Okay.
one.
so that I don't go back. So I will. That place you're talking about in Alfheim, that was
Yeah.
nothing for me because I did that when I was there.
Yeah.
I
Smart.
finished the
Smart.
area when I was there, so that I don't have these long grinds afterwards. I break my grind up into my story time.
Yeah, but
You
I'm
understand?
I'm
So
just going to interject if you'll allow me. Sometimes the game won't allow you to do that. You will
yeah,
need
then
a
you go
certain
up.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you go up to where you can get until,
And
Well,
then
I
and then
think
you
carry on.
move.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then you move on. But it depends on how you tackle it. If you're impatient or what. Because
Yeah.
I enjoyed it because the thing about the platinum trophy in this game, it all counted towards the story. The same as in the first one. If you
In
didn't get the
2018,
platinum,
yeah.
you didn't know about
You
the
didn't get the
Valkyrie
full
Queen.
story.
You
Yeah.
didn't get everything. You
Okay.
know.
So that's
They
one of
made they did make this one a lot easier.
that's
Yeah.
true.
And
More
then when you
accessible.
come down to the Berserker trophies, the last one you struggled with, yeah, you struggled with it. Because you guys didn't play on the harder difficulty, which wasn't that much different. It was actually because you had to hit them less. Because if you've got to that point, because I got right into, I flew through the game on the second hardest difficulty, the one before Give Me God of War, and I enjoyed it because it was challenging. And then if I didn't want to struggle, I just dropped the difficulty, and it was very easy.
Okay, but that rating. This is
The rating is
yeah.
10 out of still 10 out of 10. I wish there was more trophies actually.
Oh, okay.
I wish there was more exploring. I wish there was more to it, because the trophies were not hard. It's not hard, isn't making it better, but they were. I didn't have to use a
There wasn't a
guide.
slog. Yeah, it wasn't a
I didn't
slog.
have to
No.
use a guide, and if I didn't have to use a guide, and I liked figuring out those chests that you had to open to find. I love those things.
The Narnia chest. The Narnia
The
chest are
Narnia
pretty cool.
chest, those things probably took me the most time to find.
Yeah.
Where the hell is this thing?
That was really
How
cool.
to get to that thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was
And I
different this time.
enjoyed that.
Some you had to like hit with your flame. Some you had to throw with a spear.
True.
And some,
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they
And
make you utilize every single power you had in the
yeah,
game. They, when you have to, I don't know, it's just really, really well done.
I agree with you, dude. I agree with you. Maybe that's what I'm saying. This is maybe it was the way I tackled it. Maybe that
Yeah, that's the
spoiled
thing.
it.
It's the way you
But
tackle it. It's the same with when we went through Batman.
yeah, you did all the
You,
no, 100%. No, this is a good point because I didn't do any. When I finished Arkham Knight, I had 200 and odd Riddler trophies to do, and that put me off majorly. But I slogged through it, and that was a part of the game that I'd. Although it was fun though. What's cool about the Riddler trophies is that it was very dynamic, and all of them, every single one is different. But
yeah.
if I tackle them piece by, like you said, piece by piece, along with the story, when I got to the end, I might have even been finished, or I might not have had much to do, and it wouldn't have been so much of a slog. Because for me, if I finish the game's story, then like a lot of the appeal sort of goes away, and then it's all about just complete like
Yeah, that's
100% in
the
it.
thing. Then you just want to get the
Yeah,
trophy and be done with it.
yeah. There's only
That's
one game that
the.
I got everything, all the trophies, everything, and I just skipped the last stage open, and that was Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh, yeah,
Which
but let's
I
not
mean,
go
that
there,
game,
please.
yeah, let's not go there. That game
Let's
was
not
kind of
go there,
disappointing,
please.
but I literally did everything, 100% of that game, and the
Mhm.
last thing I did for my last trophy was to finish the game. So
No,
that was cool.
that's a nice
A nice way to end it, yeah.
screenshot, yeah, when you get the platinum.
Yeah, man.
But
So basically, your question, the answer to that, it can be if you don't do it in the right way, if you
Yeah.
don't find the right recipe for you, it can be a 3
yeah,
out of
but
10,
You
it
can
can be a
screw
7
yourself.
out of
You
10.
can screw
But the
yourself,
way
yeah.
I did it and I made the trophy experience, I give it a 10 out of 10. But your trophy experience is going to be entirely up to the way you decide to go for the
Correct.
trophies.
correct. So my rating for the trophy here would be another hot take. It will be 7 out of 10 for me, because I think it was a bit tedious, a little bit, when it came to doing the trophies.
Some of the
Uh,
collectibles.
Yeah, the collectibles. I mean, like, once you've done this enough, like Gert said, you start to get a game plan of how you want to do this. You try and minimize backtracking. But sometimes the game fights you on it, and you need a super special power to get to another area. God of War in general, this game was better, but the backtracking, if you have to backtrack, you can get lost. Case in point, the Alf,
What
the
I
Alf
said,
plays.
yeah. Oh,
Yes,
gosh.
that's it's not easy.
The first
And
one was difficult, yeah,
yes,
in
and
that
like
sense.
the Ravens here, I found were much better,
Easily. Much easier.
Yeah,
much
they were
easier.
like
Much
hidden
easier.
in plain sight, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
and also I will give them I can't even remember the word I want to say now, but
Kudos.
kudos, thank you, HD. That the Ravens, they made them more green and easier to see, because
Yeah.
Oh, I
because
didn't
in
even
the
notice that. I
do you
thought they
know,
were
Yeah,
the
dude,
because
same.
in the other one you couldn't see them.
they,
They blended in with the scenery.
Environments,
Yeah,
yeah.
they weren't.
exactly.
Ah.
They were a lot lighter, more transparent.
Exactly.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
for
that's
me,
true.
I think what made me really dock points of this for this game when it came to the platinum and my experience in general, that's why I give it an 8, because I like Gert says, I give the rating for the story and the platinum. Um, the what's that secret area you get to? The plains. The
Oh, yes,
the
the planes,
the
yeah.
night and day cycle annoyed the shit
You
out of
didn't like
me.
that? I thought that was
Uh,
cool.
it's a cool mechanic, but if you're gonna put like
You tie, because you
so
tie certain areas down like that, and you weren't
yes,
sure where to go to get certain things, if it's day or night,
But
yeah.
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't think it was hard because each part of the map
No, I'm
had
not saying it's hard. I'm just
everything
saying it's tedious.
labeled where it
Yeah.
is. So it was
They did the
kind of
map much better this round as
yeah.
well. Like, there's not just the full map, there's areas on the map that will tell you, with how much stuff you have left, and that was pretty cool.
And that
And
was
that's
in
what I was talking about.
2018 as well.
Was it? I don't know why I never
Yes,
used that in 2018. I never used the map as much. I think it's because I used the guide, maybe. So I just went to a certain area.
could be. Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
the same.
Okay. Okay. But I mean that's what I was talking about. Like, when, yeah, that sort of mechanic in the game when it's built around, you know, like they're wanting you to complete it and giving you a checklist and stuff. I like that. I appreciate that in a platinum.
Yeah, but it's, you have to, if you're going to do that, you need to put the mechanic near where you need to go. It's like, oh, you run around the whole map. Oh, I want to get here. Oh shit, I have to run all the way back and change it today. Then run all the way back. That gets on my nerves.
Travel, bro. The fast traveling in this game was pretty cool. I liked it.
And load on the PS5, it loaded instantly, which was very impressive.
Immediately, yeah.
Yes, that fast travel was a big thing. Moving on to the last question. Your best trophy and your worst trophy. Now, I'm going to start with Gert again, because, let's see, Gert, your worst trophy. I know you enjoyed this game 10 out of 10, but it's got to be at least your least favorite trophy.
Okay, just give me a second. If AC can go first,
okay,
let me just go through the trophy. If he knows what it is, let him go first, or just give me a couple of seconds.
Do you know HT, or do you want me to go first? Because I've got one.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, all right. I've actually got it. I had it here, and I've lost it. I had it prepared. The Trials trophy on Mustafa.
The Mustafa Trials.
No, that's my worst trophy. That's my worst trophy.
Why? That was nice.
That was pretty cool.
I enjoyed it. You had to actually figure it out, and
that is why I hated it, because nowhere is it stated that you need to do this in a certain order. And
I tried to figure that out.
No, it's not common sense.
I didn't figure it out at first. I was just like, why am I having to redo these things now? But then when I came to the central area, then I was like, why is this lights? And then I did a few things to try and.
But that chick tells you how it works.
Oh, then I wasn't listening.
that
same,
that does the armor for you. Linda was her name, right?
Smash or pass.
Linda,
yeah.
Smash.
Okay.
Need some.
Yeah,
some
dude. Fucking hell, you got to get all of the realms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't discriminate.
Everyone needs love. Okay, it's the Trials by Fire trophy, silver. The thing is, right? I don't understand why it couldn't be each room. You do the 3 trials, and then you go down to the middle, and you do the 3 trials, and done. No, it had to be the 3 trials.
That would be straightforward.
But you're making it overly complicated.
The first one's trials was much harder than this anyway.
But much straightforward and easier.
The thing is that you know how easy those trials were actually, because if you could do this easy ones. All you needed to do was it in different order.
Yes.
It wasn't a difficult thing to figure out. You could do like the same 3 trials 3 times if you did it in different orders.
And that's what I did. But then here comes the tedious part. No, but it's time wasting though.
That's if you didn't figure it out and you didn't remember. That's your own fault. That's on you.
No, but it's time. Even if you have figured it out, instead of just going straight to the middle.
Time wasting if you had figured it out.
Because you'll be playing the same, because you have to get all 3 first, then you go down to the middle, you get that, then you have to go back up again and then figure out the certain pattern to unlock the middle again. That's just time wasting, because you like you said, you can replay the same missions over again, and that's what I did.
Yeah, but to unlock the other mission, it's up to you. It all depends on how you did it.
I think it all depends. So Danny's whole thing is he just didn't like replaying the same things.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. That's my argument.
But you were also playing on a much easier difficulty. Fuck, man, when you were playing on the harder one, it was more.
Yes, but then the frustration.
Danny, which out of all of those trials was your worst?
Out of all the trials.
Out of all the trials.
I can't remember, but I'll always say a time trial is the worst, and there was one there.
Time trials are always the worst. Yeah.
I can't remember what is. There was the one where the enemies were immune and you had to knock them off the map. I hated that. And there was another one.
Easy. That was like one of the easiest ones. Do you know what you had to do there? Actually, you actually take the Leviathan axe and you keep R1 in, and what it does is
you knock them up.
You wind up and you grab them and you swing them, you throw them, and what you can do is. You can aim away from the pit in the middle, right? And you just have to hook him in your axe. And while he's hooked in your axe, you turn and you basically track to the side and you throw them in like it. You literally axe throw in. I was gonna say that was my favorite one because it was so easy.
My God.
Okay, what was your best?
My one.
Yeah, your best one. Yeah.
Okay, my one has to be freeing the whale, the making amends trophy.
Oh, that was a cool one. That was a cool one. Yeah, that was a cool
Making
mission.
amends.
Yeah, with
That's
when Mamiya trapped that whale type
Okay.
creature. Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay, yeah.
That because that
Okay,
came
yeah.
out of left field again. Like when because you just see like this island there, like randomly, and when you hit that dong, this whole damn whale comes
You
up.
hit that what?
The dong.
What?
You
What are you doing?
like
The
Danny
dong?
and the Danny and the
Danny
dong.
likes the dong. Damn.
Dong.
The what is his favorite trophy? You
Listen,
hit the dong.
I
Oh my
swear,
God, this guy's got some issues.
it's called the dong. I'm
That's
sure of it.
horrible.
Am I wrong? Am I taking an L here?
I'm not gonna say whether you're right or wrong. All I'm saying is you like dong. That's all.
Dong and schlong, same thing for me.
Same thing, buddy.
And that thing was just like a snake. I don't know what. Anyways.
But I enjoyed that one. For freeing it and the whole that area in general is my favorite part of the map. All right. Do you have you got your two ready, Gert?
Yeah, mine was, I told you from the beginning of this thing, better together. I've actually shared the trophy with you guys in this chat.
Yes, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be the best one because of the scene of when they were just too potent together.
That was potent. I think I'm gonna have to pick that one as well. Just between that one and freeing Gom, or not freeing Gom, but like I think you get a trophy for. I think it's like man's best friend, or I think what is it called?
For petting those.
No, man. For when you put Fenrir in Gom's body, I think there was a trophy aside. I think it might have just been a story trophy. Yeah, but I think because that was one of my favorite parts of the game. I think that is my favorite. Yeah.
My least favorite trophy will be the florist.
Oh, dude, is that we have to find the flowers?
Yes.
That's my worst trophy. I was just about to say, I hated that. Remember, Gert? Remember I told you I 100% the Svartalheim and I couldn't. I was on the chat with G-Flash and I don't know what he was playing, but I was running around Svartalheim for an hour trying to find this bloody painting on this wall to pick up this freaking flower, and I got so frustrated.
Gong.
So that flower was a little, but it didn't belong in the game to me. But anyway.
Well, if you had followed the guide, HT, you would have saved time doing that. Okay, and this I'm just going to insert here. Yes, I misspoke. It is not dong. It is gong. So I'll take that. I'll take that.
You did have dong on your mind.
You had dong on your mind. That's why.
Listen. When you play 50 hours running around as a half-naked man, okay, that changes you.
Okay, all you think about is dong.
Okay,
God damn.
And Danny, you sent me a message in the group. What armpit did you use?
What?
We were talking about armpits instead of armor.
Yeah, but that wasn't my fault. That was autocorrect.
I used the M-Gain armpit.
You know what? You guys are funny.
It's called Fate Breaker or something. Fate Breaker armor.
I used the balance one that helped with your special moves. That was the one. I did the same in the previous game also.
I think I just used the dragon armor. I can't. No.
Dragon armor is dope.
No, I used the one.
Muspelheim armor for.
That's the one I used. Sorry, that's the one I used to get to battle on.
Yeah, you guys. I'm the only one who didn't use that armor.
So out of the lot, okay, this random question to end this off. Of the last two bosses, the Berserker King or Nah, who was the worst?
For me, it was Nah.
It was the Berserker King.
I have to go.
Nah was okay. Berserker King. I mean, Berserker King was okay. Nah, absolutely. I'm gonna be honest here, guys. I actually lowered the difficulty on that one. I did. I'm admitting it.
Man, a lot of people would have. It's flattening the game, and you get to that point.
That was the last trophy I needed, and I was just I'm over this.
I lowered the difficulty also, but that was nothing compared to the freaking last Valkyrie in the first God of War.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes.
Sigrun was
my worst boss I ever fought in any game.
Yeah.
That was the worst. I thought that I just thought it was over for me. I didn't think I was going to do it.
Yeah. No, that one took me some time.
I remember
Like
playing
even
that.
on the easiest mode, that she was
Yes.
still kind of
She was
difficult.
hard, man.
Yeah, I was playing that on normal. I got my ass handed to me. I was like, no, I'll put it on story. And she was still destroying me on story, dude. I'm like, who?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
crazy. That was a
You were like,
frustrating.
"Ho?"
Like,
That's
who?
how.
This bitch. So no, I have to go away with Gert. I say the Berserker King gave me the most trouble because I was about an hour with him, and then when you get to his special attack, you know, the rune attack with swords, I used that on Na and I KO'd her in one go.
Oh wow, interesting. Yeah, I had trouble with Na massively, massively. I think why I thought
So
the
we all
Berserker
got
King
the
was
same trophy last, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think what I liked about the Berserker King, why I feel it was a little bit easier, is that you know, the same like the Valkyries in the first game. Like you fight the different Valkyries and they all have their own specific moves.
Correct.
But the Valkyrie at the end, Sigrid, she had like all her moves is an amalgamation of theirs. So if you learn patterns against those moves, you would be able to fight her, even though it's still a tough thing. So Berserker King, he was again, all his moves was an amalgamation of moves from the other Berserkers. So that kind of assisted with it.
I'm just gonna say fuck the Berserker King. I really hated him.
Yeah, no.
No,
You-
he was harder, but not much harder because I didn't. It was still easy. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It was that I just had the thought of that Valkyrie in the first one.
I think the worst two fights, if I'm just boil it down to two, was the Berserker King, and then the Berserker fight where three of those assholes pop out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like why would you do this to me?
Yeah, why,
No,
bruh?
actually,
Why?
the 3 wasn't so bad, to be honest.
Yeah, well, you would say that.
I struggled with the one. I struggled with there was the two. There was the one in Svartalheim. When you go through the tunnels and you come out to the end by that forge, there was two berserkers that came out at once. That was I think I might have even struggled more with them than I did with the king. That was, but I think also like I don't think I was strong enough to tackle them when I first came across them.
Yeah, that's also one thing I learned really hard was when I was in the wrong area with not enough power. Oh, yes.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
why
used to
the
get
end
owned.
game. Yeah, that's why the end game. Exactly. You have to go there like fully powered up, and if you know even on easy story mode, you go there and you're
Or you're
underpowered,
gonna
they
have
will
a
slap
bad
you.
time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so I think we can wrap it up now. We've been going for an hour and a half. I think that's a decent amount.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Any departing thoughts from you guys?
No, I just can't wait to see where they go to next. Obviously, the rumors of it being Egypt setting is quite interesting. And I wonder, because they're going to change mythologies now, if they're going to make another drastic change to the gameplay and stuff like they did between 3 and 4. Or if they're going to keep it over the shoulder the way they have now.
I think
I
over the
can't see it being
shoulder.
any different.
Yeah, over the shoulder is like at the moment is the standard of our age at the you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
might
should
feel-
ask, what
I
was
think it might
what
feel
was your
too
weapon
samey.
of choice? Which one? What did you use more, the blade, the
bro,
chaos, or the axe?
Axe, blade is a chaos, then the spear. But I use that axe. The only time I use the other things is when I need. Well, the blades of chaos when I was fighting against frozen enemies.
Yeah, but there's that the mechanics of the axe is just too good, man.
I mean, the axe was pretty good, but I mean,
Yeah.
it was either the axe or the blades. The spear I hardly used. For me,
Yeah.
it was 1v1 axe. If it's crowd control, then the blades.
True, that's a good point actually. That is a very good point.
Of course, I would make good
Yes.
points, bitch.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Anyway,
Anyways,
we
that
got-
was
we got-
one hell of a game, and I still
Exactly.
can't believe you didn't give it a 10 out of 10. The whole world gave it a 10 out of 10.
That is the reason why I wanted all three of us on, because when we agree on
All have
something,
different
we
takes.
agree, and when we have a different take on something, it's like vastly different. So for you, it's the perfect game. For HD, it's an excellent game, and for me, it was a very good game with flaws. And I think we can leave it on that.
That's fair enough.
Okay, of course, it's fair enough. Well, I just want to thank you both for your time. I know.
Spider-Man 2 is they just announced. You can.
Are you being serious?
It's released coming soon. I just saw it on.
Come
But
on, bruh.
but it's got pictures.
Made me excited.
There's two Spider-Man in there, and it's got
I-
Venom.
You're making me
my God.
excited for nothing here.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's-
serious, and there's a video.
I want a release date.
yeah. What's the release date?
Coming soon.
I swear to God. HT, let's just fly over then, just bitch slap him together. Each someone
Can't
sick.
wait for that game though. Also, 'cause
Ooh.
the
Yes.
first one made me actually appreciate Spider-Man as a superhero.
Yeah, Garth doesn't like Spider-Man, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I don't like.
Hell.
Dude, shut your mouth. He's the best
Yeah,
superhero
let's not
ever.
go there. We're gonna start the
Yes,
whole other podcast.
exactly,
If we go there now.
exactly. We'll save that. We'll save
Episode
actually.
2. You know what I mean?
All right, so I want to thank you both. Like for people who don't know, all three of us are in different time zones, so to make this is not easy, especially when we're all working at Family Men. So I want to thank G Flash for coming on because he's 3 hours ahead of me. I want to thank HT for coming back because he's an hour ahead of me, and I want to thank myself for just being so awesome. So
You heard what you said there, eh? HD
yeah.
Guy and G-Flash are ahead of you.
there
we go.
Okay.
So-
As long as
okay.
you remember that, buddy. As long as you remember
Yeah.
that.
All right. Okay, let's stop this now because otherwise we're going to go on forever. So anyone, thanks everyone for watching. If you like these videos, there's more on my channel. Bye bye HT. Say bye bye everyone.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.